Hey everyone, welcome back to The Process, where we embrace the process of life to be our best versions. So let's jump straight into it today. Why do you need to forgive your ex? Or why you need to forgive somebody from your past? In my case, my ex's photo came up on my newsfeed and I just got this feeling of negative emotions. And when I looked deeper, I was like, I'm really angry at this person. I couldn't believe how angry I still was. We hold on to our anger to protect ourselves from the painful reality of the ending of a relationship or the change in the way that you relate to somebody. That loss, that change of something you were so attached to, be it 5 years or 1 year or 6 months, doesn't really matter. It hurts so badly. So sometimes as a way of coping, we resent and we hold on to all the bad things about that person and we demonize them, and that helps us to forget about them. It helps us to be more okay with the breakup. In the time that I was fully detached from my ex, I did a lot of inner work. And I feel that a lot of people who lose somebody in that way, we get forced to kind of look in the mirror and ask ourselves, what is it about us that we want to improve? In what areas of our lives can we improve ourselves? However, the pain of the breakup and the change of relationship and the change of scenery in my life, I think was so overwhelming for me that I went into a state of survival. And that's when the ego comes in and says, I've got this, let me take care of it, and kind of just like draws demon horns on your ex and is like, yeah, screw them, they're done, we don't have to think about them anymore because they are the devil's work. And I can't sit here and say to you like, yeah, I forgave my ex overnight, you should too. But I can say that if you are still resenting somebody from your past and it's been a long time, chances are you're hurting yourself more than you're hurting anybody else. Chances are you're really only hurting yourself. I say that lightheartedly, but I empathize and I know how hard it is because it's not a truly obvious thing, you know? It's not like, oh yeah, I really don't like my ex and he sucks. I had very good things to say about my ex, even though we had a lot of challenging aspects of our relationship. However, in the back of my mind, I didn't want to hear about his success and I didn't want to know if he was doing better without me because I was still resentful of all the things he'd taken away from me and all the things that he'd taken advantage of in my life. And I just realized I did this. I don't mean to belittle what I went through. However, I do this because it's like that's what the ego had held on to. It had put into quotation marks the worst things that he'd done to me and put it in a little box, and that became a burden for me. That became a belief for me. It also made me believe that forgiveness meant that if I forgave him, I would forget that box of all the really bad things that happened and I'd fall back into something that was not good for me. Now that's a really important thing to bring up because it is holding on to that box of all the bad things that he'd done to me that attracted a similar essence of that energy. Why? Because of the power of manifestation, and where attention goes, energy flows. So I was holding on to that for so long that the next romantic partner I attracted into my life was, you guessed it, emotionally unavailable. At first I was really frustrated at this, and especially because I had done so much work on myself in that year and a bit since my relationship. And I'm sure it's the same for you guys. Maybe you attracted someone similar to your ex and you're like, why is this happening? Chances are it's because you haven't forgiven your ex. Chances are it's because you've got that box in your head where you've got all the traits you don't like about your ex and you're holding on to them to protect yourself. You think that not forgiving them is a way of protecting yourself. I feel like I'm repeating myself, but it's just so important that it's like the very thing that I thought was protecting me was causing me more harm. It was stopping me from moving on completely from my ex and moving on to the next chapter of my life because I was continually really identifying with the pain of my past relationship. So I truly believe that life is always communicating to me. And when I attracted that first romantic partner after my ex, it was just like a mirror image of my ex. And initially I really couldn't pinpoint what was going wrong. And it was only once I really wrote it down, I was like, what don't I like about this person? Like, what is triggering me? And it was all the things I hadn't yet forgiven in my ex. And I think that that's a really beautiful opportunity that the universe is giving me in saying that, hey, you're carrying all of this inside of you. This is in your vibrational reality. This is in your attraction point. We're just letting you know, like, are you sure this is what you want? And beautiful, sweet trauma inside of me was like, yes, I want emotional unavailability. I'm going to chase this. I am going to nurture this. And why do we do that? Why did I do that? Because there is this deep part of me and a deep part of us that wants to clear the resentment and the unforgiveness. It wants to get rid of it. So we think that we can clear it and we can forgive by healing it in another person. So in my case, emotional unavailability was a big theme in my past relationship. And so in this next one that kind of appeared into my life, I had the same issues come up. And I had a chance to rewrite my script, not only in my life, but in my subconscious mind. Maybe in your past relationship, they were a cheater, maybe they were lazy, and then you find the next person you date is those exact same traits, and maybe you find that you overcompensate, and you say, that's fine, like, I can heal you, I can help you, I can change you. And it's like, maybe the key isn't changing the person outside of you, maybe the key is changing what you're attracting towards yourself. And if that triggers you, how about we change it to what you're attracted to? Because I was genuinely attracted to this last guy that came into my life, and I was super attracted to him. And when I looked at him on paper, I was like, this guy is not good for me at all. And my desire, my attraction was to the opportunity to forgive and heal all the things I hadn't yet forgiven from my ex. And sometimes it goes beyond that, and I think in my case it may even where it goes back to your ex before that, and potentially a friend, and potentially a caregiver, all the way back to when you were a child. Again, maybe you had a lazy parent, maybe you had an emotionally unavailable parent, maybe you had a dismissive parent, and then you just kept that pattern going. You kept trying to heal that with your outside relationships rather than looking within and being like, whoa, you know what, that really affected me, and that's not how I want to associate love and relationships anymore. So a really practical exercise you can do is just kind of write down what it is you don't forgive in your ex, what it is maybe you don't forgive in yourself as well, and start rewriting that script for yourself. Start unpacking that. I'm gonna start practicing some forgiveness meditations. I'll link some below for you guys, and really start stepping into a new reality when it comes to relating to others rather than just repeating cycles. You know what, the hardest part is realizing your role that you play in that, realizing that it's like, yeah, I'm attracted to this same toxic trait. And parting with that attraction is just a really interesting process, because it's crazy how safe we feel in that attraction to toxicity. And we all have it. Maybe some of you out there healed it more than I have, but there's definitely something in us that is attracted to the things we want to kind of clear away from within ourselves and our subconscious and our memories. So I know this is a bit of an extreme example for some of you guys, but it's like even abuse. If you're emotionally abused, your subconscious, rather than try to clear that and forgive that and make peace with the past, it may seek it in the future so that you have an opportunity this time to make it right with this person. And it's like, you know what? It's never gonna work that way. That's what I feel. Maybe you feel differently. I hope I change your mind, because I'd love for you to not skip from abusive relationship to abusive relationship like I once was, and just kind of start forgiving the past. It's kind of like clearing the gunk so you can welcome in some new fresh flowers, some new fresh soil for your beautiful ideas and what you truly deserve. So I truly hope this video found you well, and if it didn't, I hope it leaves you well. I hope it helps you to attract more of what you truly deserve rather than what you have come to believe that you deserve, and I hope it shows you what love truly can be, and I hope to continue to explore that together. If you made it to the end of the video, I'd love and appreciate it so much if you can leave a comment down below. That tells the YouTube algorithm that you appreciate my content, and it helps me to make more of it for you guys. I'd also love to interact with you more. Here's to happy and healthy relationships with ourselves and now with others. Let's go, let's do this. I'm keen to hear your stories. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.